Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to another YouTube channel video, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a DC movie ranking. So, this past week, or at least Sunday that I saw The Dark Knight Rises, as that was the next Christopher Nolan film that I saw. And I actually have a little short review that I have on my channel, you could go watch it now. And I thought, because I completed the Dark Knight trilogy, why not rank it? So, with that said, we're going to rank all three Dark Knight movies from the worst to the best. If the comments are working down below, go ahead and put your ranking down below of the Dark Knight movies, the way you put them in. With that said, let's get started. Now, I know that we just started out this list kind of weird, but just because The Dark Knight Rises is in last place does not mean that this movie is bad, alright? Sometimes when movies are in last place, they can be bad, but this movie is not bad. I still like this movie, okay? One of the things that I thought it did very well is that it continues the character of Bruce Wayne, because we've been with him throughout the first two movies, and his character is kind of changed throughout the life. And that little conversation that he has with Alfred, like him returning to Gotham, and then like the way his kind of life changed, and like it's all very cool. Along those same lines, you even get some new characters like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who people were saying that they wish that it could set up a Nightwing little movie. You also get Anna Hathaway as Catwoman, which I thought she was amazing and I thought she had some great interactions with Bruce Wayne. Once again, you have Gordon being on the ride again. It's just fun. Of course, Morgan Freeman, obviously another great actor in this little trilogy. And then of course, Tom Hardy as Bane, probably a fan favorite. Honestly, when I saw him on screen, it's like, it didn't feel like I was watching Eddie Brock or Tom Hardy at all. It just felt like a whole different role. And that's why Tom Hardy is a very good actor, where he can play all these different types of roles. Where he can play the goofiness and seriousness of Venom, and he can actually play the serious and bulky character of Bane. And I thought that was amazing, where he was just beating him up. Also, I thought that the stuff with the story of the conclusion of the trilogy, where basically the entire city of Gotham and Bane's army comes together and fight each other to the end to protect Gotham. And it's like, it's so satisfying, because this is kind of like what they did in Spider-Man, where New York was basically Spider-Man's personal army and basically like Spider-Man supporters. And that's what the city, the army of Gotham is that it's kind of like Spider-Man's people, and so it was like New York's people. And then also the way they actually did Batman's Bruce Wayne's arc, where they actually killed off Batman to save the city of Gotham, but Bruce Wayne still lives on. I thought that was pretty clever, and that was something I didn't see coming. And honestly, I kind of like how they did the Henry Danger thing, where they made Kid Danger dead, but Henry Hart still lived on. But overall, I thought this was a very satisfying conclusion to the trilogy. But I'm not the biggest fan of what Bane wants to do with the whole explosion of the city, and I'm not the biggest fan of the whole story here. Those are really the only two issues, but besides that, I thought this was a great movie, and I really wish we could have at least gotten some sequels that Christopher Nolan could have made of this series. But still very good. Batman Begins is just such a exploration of a movie, because in this film you learn all about who Bruce Wayne is, and I think that this film is well explored because you get to see what's driving him, and then you get to see how he progresses into that hero, and how the people around him are kind of fascinated by it, and how some people, like the people that he loves, and how the people that love him surround him, like Gordon. He's kind of fascinated by him, or the girl Rachel. Like, it's all well done. Like the little stuff with Liam Neeson, the stuff that he has, I thought was a great character in the movie. I also just think Christian Bale just played Batman Bruce Wayne as just an amazing character. He played him amazingly. I was surprised that they actually put in Two-Face or Scarecrow in the movie, because this movie didn't really seem like that. I just thought that Liam Neeson was going to be the only villain in the movie. But besides that, this movie is absolutely fantastic, with a great way to tell the story, as Liam Neeson's training him to be the Batman, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And the way that they portray the Batman story, it's just amazing. So I love it. Probably one of my only issues with the film is that the action just feels a little bit too choppy, and that the camera is just too shaky. And I don't know how Christopher Nolan could have thought that was a good idea, put in the movie as shaky camera action. But besides that, I think this is one of the best movies in the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, this film pretty much gives us basically everything we want for the Batman character. Of course, the first thing you gotta talk about is the villain, Heath Ledger's Joker. Of course, just a famous comic book villain that sticks the role, and pretty much is just this crazy lunatic that is crazy. When he tells stories, he does "I'm always smiling." You want to know how I got these scars? Why so serious? Like, all of it fits the character of Heath Ledger Joker. It was a new type of role since I last saw him in 10 Things I Hate About You, which I thought was an amazing movie. But I would say that this is probably his best performance. And I love this movie. It's just great. But the way that they actually portray Batman on the city of Gotham is just one of the most beautiful things they've ever done in a Batman film, that I personally have ever seen. And it's explored very well. And when you get to the end, when Gordon is telling that kid he's the hero that Gotham deserves, and not the one it needs right now. And I thought that was beautifully well explored. And along the way, it also just has some better action, especially that opening sequence with Batman and stuff. I just thought that was amazing. And it actually has some quippy humor in it that I thought was also pretty good. And Harvey Dent was actually a pretty interesting character, where he was actually a Two-Face, and the way they actually kill him off screen in The Dark Knight Rises, I thought was weird. But overall, I thought this was a satisfying conclusion to the trilogy. I thought this was a satisfying sequel. And that's why The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of the Dark Knight trilogy. So that's my ranking of all the Dark Knight movies. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My Instagram is Marvel6. My TikTok name is MarvelFan. If you guys don't understand those names, head to my about section so you can follow me on all social medias. I'm also on Letterboxd. It's the same name as Instagram, of _6_, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.